Hey guys, uh, Rogue Cyclist here. Today I want to show you my first bike. Uh, Sorry for the wind, sorry for the ocean noise, but I guess this is all good noise. At least I'm outside. Finally, we are capable to go outside without feeling that we might die at any minute. But yeah, this is my first bike, and before I show you in more detail, let me show you here the amazing weather and the amazing beach and the mountain, the little mountain that I just came down. Big waves today. Yeah, so I got this bike like 3 years ago, I believe. It was really hard to get it. Like I was searching and searching for a long time. I didn't really have the money. I didn't work at the time, and I really wanted to have the experience to have a first road bike, and this came out. But I did like 1 year of research and going through all the, kind of those websites like Craigslist, eBay, but for my country, like the national ones. And I had like a limited budget when I have it. Sometimes I use the money for other stuff, but once I got this bike, I had money for a much better one. But I was searching for so long for a cheap bike that once I got it, I decided to buy it. I just saw it was a bargain, and maybe later, if I wanted to sell it, to resell it, I would be able to resell it. Let me just think here a bit. Like, how can I explain this? Here in my country, I know that, for example, in America, you go to a bike barn, and if you go to Craigslist and if you go to a scrapyard, you're gonna be able to buy bikes for like, I don't know, $1, $10, $25, and you are able to buy like track bikes. Sometimes they are even high spec, and people don't even realize it. They might be old, but they be high spec. Here in Portugal, it's not really like that. If you go search for those places, it's really hard to find those, and they know how to price the bikes. And I would say like bikes from the 80s, from the 70s, they are considered like classics, so they never sell below 100 euros unless they are high damage. And bikes from the 90s, from the late 90s to the early 2000s, it depends a lot on the spec of the bike. Like if it's a time trial, then it's gonna sell even for a higher price. It's considered like a something to collect, a collections edition or something like that. But for this bike, this is an entry level bike, and the majority of it, entry level bikes, they are priced between 300 up to 500 euros here in Portugal, new. But when you try to buy used, people usually price them for 300 down to like 250, sometimes like 180 euros. And I mean, it's not too much, but at the same time you feel like, I mean, it's a used bike. Some of them are really not in good shape, and you're gonna see mine is not in a good shape, but I got it really in a bargain, and I believe it was a bargain. I was able to buy it for 90 euros, and this bike specifically, I never saw it being sold below 200. I think I saw one, but it was like an XL, which is harder to sell, the size XL, and the guy was selling for 170 euros, something like that. But he was like really far. He was not at the capital, not in Lisbon. He was really far in the middle of nowhere, so you had to go there to get the bike, and it was not my size. So yeah, this one I got it close to my home. Actually, I bought it at Decathlon's store, and they have like some sales that they do from time to time where people can sell used stuff that they bought in Decathlon years before. So now I'm going to do like a close-up to the bike, so we can speak about what is wrong with the bike and maybe why it was so cheap. But it's something that I could always manage and work around. It's nothing too serious, and that's why I like the bike. I believe I was lucky to get it, but I don't know. You can judge it. You can judge it. Let's see. So going straightforward to the specs. It's an entry-level bike. To be more precise, it's a Btwin Triban 3. They were sold like around 2011, 2012, I believe. This is aluminium, of course. It got a code like 6,000 something. I don't really remember, like 6,011, something like that. When I got the bike, I bought it at Decathlon, and I was like, either I get it right now or someone is gonna take it because of the low price. But I was a bit afraid for a number of reasons. Reason number one, the bike here was covered with some kind of gunk, oil gunk, that it was dry, and it was really hard to remove with the fingers. And later when I clean it, it was even harder to remove with paper. I found it later the way to clean it was with the WD-40. I just tried it, I put it, and it kind of melt down. It was cool, but still took me a lot of time. The chain here was full of gunk itself. You could not see like the holes of it. This chain might need some replacement later on, but for now it's good enough. It came with these pedals, and I know that the cyclists there, if they see this video, they're gonna hate me for using these pedals and not changing them, because these are mountain bike pedals. But for the type of ride that I do, they are more than okay, and I believe this is actually a good option. Not this specific model, but the strap ones, I believe they are a really good option, and I'm going to explain that in another video, maybe, if I get the time. The specs: micro shifts, 8 gears. The feeling is like Campagnolo. Yeah, it's not Campagnolo, it's kind of like a white brand, but triple chainring, and as you can see here, let me see if I can show. It's kind of blurry, I'm sorry, but it's micro shift. Okay, more issues with the bike and more specs. Came with a steel fork. Nothing too bad about it. I don't really mind it. The wheels are 650 instead of the 700s due to the size of the bike. And this bike doesn't fit me 100%. I should use an M size. This one is an S size. It's a small size. It is a 51. But with some adaptation with the stem and with the seat as well, I could adapt the position, and I wouldn't say like I'm really comfortable, but I'm okay for smaller rides, like 2 hours, 3 hours. More than that, it gets too uncomfortable on my back and on my hands, and I still need to adjust more. Maybe I could get it perfect. What else? So this gunk was like literally here, covering everything, and it was really hard to get. That was the main issue that I saw. The size was also an issue, but I was watching some videos of Jalabert, the rider, the French rider that won the polka dot jersey back in the 2000s, and he was a sprinter, and what he used was bikes that were a bit smaller and with smaller wheels because they were get lighter. and I was kind of inspired with that, and I was like, okay, this might be like a cool thing to play around. Let's get it. Brakes are Btwin brakes. They look like 105s, cheap ones, or maybe old Ultegras. It's hard to explain, but it's easy to work around. You can change here the knob to adjust it. You can open here to release the wheel. It's easy also to dismount these and put new ones. The ones that came were like really tight, but I haven't changed them yet. Let me see if I can do a close-up for you